free to destroy. It is everyone's responsibility to protect. Mojita Cari. My name is Paola Guadarrama Peñalosa. Globalization means the speed up of movement and exchanges of human beings, goods and services, capital, technologies or cultural practices all over the planet. This is an historical process that began with the first movement of people out of Africa into other parts of the world. Currently, most of the food that we commonly eat today are the product of globalization, often trading and connections that began centuries before the term came into use. With this, international trade increases, which in turn causes greater demand for raw materials, products, and ends up causing damage to the environment. This is directly related to our thesis, which mentions that globalization is a social economic tool for communication between countries to take place. However, the lack of ethics and morals in carrying it out has seriously damaged the environment.
Without globalization, we wouldn't have more than half of the products that we use on daily basis. And there wouldn't be communication between countries. In the 17th, a new commercial revolution began. Japan entered in the international markets with force and United States opened up to the world. International trade began with the trafficking of spices, gold, silver, and precious stones. But today, foreign trade in general cash grew from 2.3 million to 3.3 million with 45% growth in the last 6 years. But why? The United Nations Organization states that globalization allows the union between countries, since in this way we can all know what happens to others. If they are in economic or political or social problems, etc. Equally, if it is prospering and everything that happens worldwide. It is what allows us to have an exponential growth in terms of the products. In conclusion, communication is the key so that economic growth can be successful and vice versa. Globalization has forced nations to have a good communication so that we can have the large number of products available. And at the same time, the economy grows.
In other part, the ambition of companies to earn more money and the irresponsible consumption of products causes the supply and the demand to increase, provoking more natural resources to be exploited for the manufacture of these. Companies exploit the workers who create the products with primary or secondary resources, causing these workers to neglect the environment of even themselves. Currently, the main cause of industry pollution is the large-scale burning of fossil fuels, such as soil, coal, or gas, that contaminates land, rivers, and lagoons, as well as import, handling, and storage of organic and inorganic waste. Similarly, the livestock industry has a greater impact based on the FAO report, which explained that livestock use 30% of the planet's land sources. 30% of all arable land is used to produce fodder, and 70% of the forests that have disappeared in the Amazon have been dedicated to pasture land. That says we must be more aware of several factors. Firstly, the power we give to those companies that are not very responsible with the environment, and secondly, the self-questioning of our daily habits and ask ourselves, do I really need it? in order to contribute to this reduction of purchase and demand to gradually lower the levels of the daily pollution.
After all my colleagues have mentioned, we can conclude that globalization benefits you as a consumer because you can consume products not only from your country, but also from other nations, as well as form agreements among countries for mutual benefit. But the lack of ethics and the ambition of companies causes this practice to be unfriendly with the environment. Some actions that we can take so globalization has more positive than negative effects are the following. Ask yourself if you really need what you are about to buy. Remember that globalization is an economic practice that increases day by day due to the supply and demand of the population. Investigate if the product you are buying is friendly to the environment, and so are the principles of the company that sells them. Remember that we have a great power over the environment and economic practices. If we are more aware, we can reduce the negative results of globalization. Remember that globalization is a social and economic tool for communication between countries to take place. However, the lack of ethics and morals in carrying it out has seriously damaged the environment. We can make globalization stop being a negative practice for the environment. And remember that we have a great power over what concerns us, and we should use it for good.